Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Chris, and I am the Shortcuts educator from the Southeast. Now, there will be a chance just towards the end of the session where you can ask me a couple of questions if you see necessary to. So do please feel free to ask me some questions towards the end. Just before we get started with the actual training and when you actually do compose it yourself, just please ensure your new employee has already been created and assigned a level, so i.e. a senior stylist, graduate stylist, or a director. Please make sure you have allocated them the correct security role. If you do need help with this, we do have the training videos available for this, and also set them up with a PIN so they could use that to log into Shortcuts to make sure they are GDPR compliant. Today's lesson, we will show you how to use Shortcuts on a day-to-day basis, and definitely will have you booking in clients in no time at all. So basically, what will we be looking at today? We'll be looking at the overview of the appointment book and creating appointments and a day-to-day running. Client data and client cards and how we can manage this. This is where we put in people's first names, last names, and so forth. We'll also be looking at the Shortcuts point of sale system, so adding in new services, products to a sale line, and of course, taking the client's bill. We'll also be looking at the employee performance and how this can be tracked as well. Okay, now towards the end, if you do want to contact us, you will see on your screen now we do have our email address. But like I said, you can, of course, drop me a little question and answer session at the end. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started and we're going to open up Shortcuts. Okay, so I've opened up Shortcuts. So what you will see on the left-hand side at the top here, just where my mouse is, this is our calendar. So we can see today's date is Tuesday, the 19th of March. If we click into that, we can go to a specific date. Now, today's date is always represented by a red number just here. And we have a full calendar month here and a full calendar month here, also represented by a light grey and a dark grey. And we can choose a specific month at the top here. On the right-hand side on our navigation bar, we also have today's date and today's time, just after 1:30. And then right down the bottom as well, we have today's date, Tuesday, the 19th of March, just to make it nice and quick and easy for us to identify exactly which date we are looking at. And of course, on your PCs and laptops and things like that, you probably will have the date and time in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay, so let's have a look at the appointment book here then. So you will see we've got our times on the left-hand side. Now mine are identified in 15-minute increments, and we can see that here. So 1:15, and 1:30. Now, of course, you can change the setup of this in your configuration. But again, there are training sessions if you do need to know how to do this. You will see at the top of the screen here, we have like a dark blue section. And we have a slightly lighter blue section just underneath. The dark represents the past, the light represents the future. It's sort of by this invisible line just here, we can see exactly where we're up to in the day. So as we can see, it's practically 1:30. Okay, and down the bottom, we can navigate between our days. So we have the Today button. Clicking this at any point will take us straight back to today. If we click on the Day button with the arrow facing forwards, it will take us through day by day, step by step. And we click today, we go straight back to today. And we can also go back days in exactly the same manner. You'll also see next to that button, we have a week. If we click onto that, we can skip forward 7 days. Now, what we can also do to make it even quicker, so for our clients that like to come in every 4 or 6 weeks, those clients for blow dries and colors and so forth, if we right click on our mouse on the week button, you will see we have a 2, 4, or 6 week command. And that takes us straight away to 6 weeks to make it nice and easy to identify exactly and make sure we get a specific day. And I can navigate back to today by clicking the Today button. Okay, now you will see I have 3 employees. I have Sarah, Matt, and James, and it is James's day off today, and this is represented by the day off. Now, you may or may not have noticed already that we are only looking at a small percentage of the day. I'm only looking at just before 1 until just after 4. Well, your salons might be open slightly later than that. Might be open from 9 till 6, 9 till 8, something like that. And we can view that on the bottom right-hand corner by clicking the menu button and where it says view mode. So if I change it to all day, you will see the screen enlarges, it zooms out, and we can now see the entire day. And so forth. And that is how we change the view mode of our day. Now, as I said, we can see Sarah and Matt are both working today, but it is James's day off. Now, you might be working in a slightly larger salon than this, where you have 6 or 7 members of staff working and 3 or 4 members of staff that are off that day. Another great tool we have to ensure we don't accidentally incorrectly book an appointment in with a stylist isn't set to working. On the left-hand side, you will see a little filter. Looks like a little funnel upside down. So if we click onto that, we can filter between employees that are rostered on. So you can now see it has taken away our employee that isn't set to work today. We can remove that by taking the tick out of the box. Okay, so all importantly, let's have a look at getting our client booked in. So if I was to click and drag with my mouse, the left side of my mouse, you will see the appointment book highlights ever so slightly. And down the left-hand side, you will see my times highlight accordingly. So 3, 3:15, 3:30, and so forth. That is so if we're working slightly over to the right-hand side of our appointment book, again, we are accurately booking in an appointment. So I'm going to make an appointment at 2 p.m. with Sarah, my stylist, just here. So I'm going to click on this cell just here. And this will open up our appointment book. Now, I'm going to book in a brand new client, a client that hasn't been to our salon before. Now, you may have noticed if you've had a play around with shortcuts before, it's very easy to use and get started with. So if I want to create a brand new client, you will see there is a big green cross where it says new, and I'm going to click onto that. I'm going to fill out the relevant information. And this client is going to be called Bugs Bunny. I have now created my client, and you will see it's represented by highlighted red just down here to make it nice and easy. When we're done, we just simply click the Done button. We now have the opportunity to tag this client. So we've got a new client, a new request client. A new request is someone that's never been to the salon before, but they have specifically requested, let's say, Sarah. A no-show is if they are constantly no-showing for your appointments. A request client is if they always have that same specific stylist, or a salon client is if they always come to the salon, but they do not mind who they see. Now, we know, as we said, Bugs Bunny is a new client to our salon. This will then open up our services and our service categories. Now, on the left-hand side are all of our categories. So I'm going to choose the men category, and I'm going to choose a gents cut and finish. And you will see down here, we have a quick glance of it. The employee is Sarah, the price is £32, and it's set to start at 2 p.m. And when we're happy, all we need to do is click the Done button. And there we go, we have created our appointment, and you will see that tag in the left-hand side. Now, another great tool for using these tags is for maybe the director or the manager or the owner of the salon that wants to track how many new clients you're getting or how many request clients you're getting. It's great for reporting, a great tool to have. So there we go. As you can see, I've quickly and effectively created a brand new appointment with a brand new client. Now, let's say we wanted to make an appointment with a client that was already in the system, an existing client. It's a very, 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 very similar way of doing it. All we do is we choose the time again. So this time I'm going to book it in with Matt. And this time, instead of clicking the new button, I'm just going to simply search for my clients on the left-hand side. Now, we can toggle between last name, first name, phone number, club ID if they have it, and email. So you can see down here, I already have a client I wish to use, which is a test client we'll be using for today. So we click onto that, and that will open up some more information about them. So we can see they have once cancelled with us before, their average spend, some outstanding payments, and any payments they've paid upfront. You can also see if they've got a series of services they're left to use. Any future appointments, again, a great tool to have just in case they double book themselves, and any past appointments. When we're happy, we click on the client and we click the Done button. And again, we just follow the simple steps like we had before. Now I'm going to say this is the request client this time. And I'm going to continue booking in a blow dry there. There we can see I have quickly and effectively made 2 appointments, one for a brand new client and one for an existing client. Okay, now what we can do is, let's say we decide Bugs Bunny has slightly longer hair than we thought, and we just need a little bit more time. Well, we can quickly and easily make that appointment 15, 30, or even 45 minutes, or however long you wish to make it. by using the left side of our mouse, or if you are using touchscreen PCs, is exactly the same. All you need to do is just click and drag and make the appointment longer. So if you were using touchscreen and using your finger, all you would do is just swipe down like you'd on your smartphone. And we can make it shorter exactly the same way. Now, if you are finding this a little bit tricky to get started with, please don't worry. You will see on the actual appointment, we have a light green on the left-hand side and a dark green on the right-hand side, represented by a sort of backwards arc. So the right-hand side is where we can click and drag and make the appointment longer. And also, let's say that this appointment that is booked in with Sarah, we wanted to move it across to someone else. On the left-hand side of the appointment, we can click and drag and simply move it across to someone else. Okay, so I would suggest having a play around with your system and get comfortable creating an appointment, making it longer, making it shorter, and moving it across to a different stylist. Now you will see both of these appointments here are a nice green color, but let's say I was to move this appointment from Sarah over to James. Now remember, James isn't set to be working today. You will see it instantly changes to a color, more like a brown color. This is what we call a clash. Now the reason this is we've booked an appointment in with James, but as we can see, James isn't set to be working today. So it's a good indication for us that we've made a mistake somewhere. So we can simply and quickly move it back across to Sarah. Now, in case we ever forget what these colors mean, we have a handy tool. Again, back on our menu setting down here where we change the view mode, you will see we have a little color legend just here. And it will show us some colors we have. And we click done to simply remove that. Now what we can do, we have made the appointment longer and shorter, and we have moved it around between our stylists. Then let's say Bugs Bunny rings up and says, unfortunately, I can't make this appointment. I need to reschedule it. Now, rather than deleting it and having to recreate it, we can simply quickly reschedule it to a different day. So this time, on the right-hand side of my mouse, I'm going to right-click, and we're going to go down to Select, just here. And you will see now on the bottom left-hand corner of our screen, this little folder as highlighted. Now, again, for those users that are using touchscreen, all you would need to do is hold your finger down on the appointment until a little square appears around. That represents a right-click command. Okay, now back to where we were, the little folder has now been highlighted. So we've essentially copied that appointment. Now we need to do is navigate to the date we wish to reschedule this appointment for. So I'm going to reschedule it for tomorrow. I'm going to open up the folder, and you will see the gray dotted squares on the left-hand side. I'm going to click that to highlight this appointment, and I'm going to quickly click and drag onto the appointment book. And I'm going to put it in at 10 a.m. tomorrow with Matt. And you can now see move the selected appointment to 10 a.m. on the 20th of March with Matt, and we click yes to confirm this move. Now we can see it is moved. Okay, I'm now going to reschedule it back to today. So again, I'm going to right-click the appointment. I'm going to go down to Select. Keep an eye on this. This is now being highlighted. I'm going to navigate to the day I wish to reschedule it for. Open up the folder. Click the gray dotted square on the left-hand side. Click and drag and drop onto our appointment book. And it is as quick and easy as that to reschedule an appointment. Okay, so now what we can do, we can say our test client there that is in for our blow dry has rang up and said, I'm running just a little bit behind. Okay, we don't need to delete it. We don't need to reschedule it. We just need to pop a little note on that appointment to let our stylist know that there's some extra information. So we're going to add a little post-it note to it. All I'm going to do again is I'm going to right-click this appointment, and I'm going to navigate down to Notes just here. It will open up a box on our screen, and we have a Notes box in the middle of the screen. So I'm going to say running slightly late. And when we're happy, we just click the Done button. You will now see we have a yellow Post-it note just here on the right-hand side. So again, to confirm, we have our little R on the left-hand side. That is a tag for a request client. We have an NC for a new client. We have a Post-it note, which again is just a little temporary note. And we also have an I on both of these appointments. This is just to let us know we haven't completely filled out their client card, so all their personal information. We will be looking at this further in just a few minutes. Okay. For those of you that are using touch tip technology, which is something we can set up in configuration if you don't already have it, it basically means when you click onto the appointment, it will open up down the bottom some simple information we have about the client. So we can see here their phone number, it's a request client, the stylist name, what it is in for, the estimated cost, and again down the bottom here we have this note. We are running slightly late. Okay, now please bear in mind this is only a temporary note. It won't constantly be on our client's record or anything like that. It's not a permanent note. Okay, so what we can now do is we can add a note onto one of our employees. So we've added a note onto our client. We can add a note onto our employees. So I'm going to go to the top and I'm going to right click Sarah. And you will see just at the top here we have a little message button. And we can write a message just like that. Please lock up tonight. And you will see a pencil and paper appears. Now, please be aware when you are doing this, this isn't a private note. Anyone in the salon can view this, so please make it relevant to the work and your team. Now, at the same, if we go back to the top on one of our clients, one of our employees, sorry, if we right click again, we also have the function to view the entire week. Now, this is great if you're finding it difficult to find a suitable slot to book one of our clients in. So if we right click at the top and go down to view week, you will see it will show Sarah's entire week. We can see exactly what she's got booked in. We can also filter between other employees, so we can add another employee in by clicking the employee button, and we can also look at further weeks. So I'm going to have a look at a 2-week rota for Sarah there. And when we're happy, all we need to do is simply click the Done button. And it takes us right back to where we were. So again, another fantastic tool to have on a day-to-day basis. Okay, so to recap, we have booked into appointments there. We've added in some tags. We've added in a temporary Post-it note onto our appointment. We've also added in a little note for our employee at the top. Now we can divulge further into the client information, and we can also start to look about putting some history notes on there and some permanent notes on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click onto our test client. And again, this will, of course, show us all the appointments that they have. At the moment, this client only has the one appointment. And you will see just down here, we have a little button where it says card. This is where we can change their personal information. So their street address, their phone number, first and last name, if applicable. We could also add in their favorite refreshment, so things like tea, coffee, if they have a specific drink or anything like that. Now, as I said earlier, we added in a temporary note. We can now look to add in a more permanent note. So we have a little alert button just down here that looks like a siren. If we click onto that, we can add in something like, has lots of hair, needs extra time. And we click the Done button and we can save that. So now if we navigate back to our appointment book, you will see there is an orange and white exclamation mark. This lets us know that there is an alert on the system. So again, if we click onto this appointment, you will see we have a client message, has lots of hair, needs extra time. Now this is a permanent note. This will constantly be on the client's profile. Now you may be thinking to yourself, we've booked this appointment in and there's an alert on it that says we need extra time. How do we know they need extra time before it's too late and before we've actually made the appointment? So let's go back to the beginning. Let's start making an appointment and let's make another appointment for test. You will see as soon as we click on the relevant client, it will come up here in red and it will say has lots of hair, needs extra time. This lets us know straight away that as soon as we've made the appointment, if there is a relevant time afterwards, we can click and drag and make the appointment longer. Now we start to see how these functions and tools start to work hand in hand with each other to make it seamless and nice and easy to create a successful booking. Okay, so let's say one of these clients was in for a color service. We can successfully capture color notes, color details on a client's bill to make it quick and easy to make sure we use the correct color each time. So again, I'm going to double click the client just like I did when I was adding in the alert, and you'll see down the bottom we have the history button just here. This will show, of course, any services they have had, any product purchases, and anything like that. So let's say I want to add in some color notes. Down the bottom again, you will see our little new button with the big green cross. And I'm going to add in a note. This is the color that we have used on test for today. And when we're happy, we click the done button. You will now see for today, they have had those color services and that those color products. Now, let's say in 6 months' time, we have a client that comes in and says to you, I absolutely love the color you did 6 months to a year ago. Now, of course, we may not remember exactly which color we use, but remember, we have just now updated it onto our system. So when we're in this profile here, if we click onto date range, we can have a look at an entire date range. So I'm going to go from January and it will show you all of the color notes within that specific date range. And there, of course, we can see our 713 and 20 volt. Again, a quick and easy tool to ensure we're always using the most up-to-date details and the correct color to make it nice and easy to look after our clients. Okay. So we've booked into appointments here. Now we need a way that when this client walks through the door, we need a way of letting all of our staff know that they have arrived and are in the building. So again, if we right-click our appointment with our mouse and we go to the Arrive button, you will see half of the appointment will turn blue just at the top. Whenever you see the blue color on your appointment, that means the appointment has been arrived. That client is somewhere in the building. It's a quick and easy tool to let everyone else know that their client may be in the building. And we can undo Arrive that client again by right-clicking and doing Undo Arrived. And it takes us back to our green appointment. So let's arrive this client again, and you will see again it is turned blue, and let's arrive Bugs Bunny as well. So both of these clients are now in the building. Okay, now the all-important bit, they've had a fantastic service. Now what we need to do is look at taking some money off of them both, the all-important bit for the business. So if we right-click again, go to checkout, you will see it takes us to what we call our point of sale screen. Now, if you weren't to right-click your appointment, you can manually navigate your way to the point of sale screen by simply clicking on point of sale and choosing the relevant arrived client from the drop-down list at the top. Now, let's say at this point, they didn't have a blow dry, they actually had a cut and blow dry. All we need to do to change it is to click where it says blow dry, choose the service button, and choose from our relevant service categories. So I'm going to change it to a cut and finish. And you will now see all of the relevant information and the prices have changed accordingly. Now, again, this is what we call our point of sale screen. These gray lines underneath are what we call sale lines. This is where we can add further services, further products, and other things at the checkout system. Now, for those of us that are using a barcode scanner, if we wanted to sell a product at this point, we could simply scan the product and it would appear here. But for the purposes of training, for those clients that maybe aren't using a barcode scanner, we can manually search for any product. So again, I'm going to click on any gray sale line underneath, and we can choose the relevant stylist that sold that product. Now I'm going to say it was Sarah again that sold this product. And this time I'm going to choose product. And this will open up all of your companies and all of your relevant lines. So I'm going to say it was a Paul Mitchell product. it was an Awapui product, and it was a 500ml finishing spray. Sorry, a 300ml finishing spray. When we're happy, we can click done. Now, if you wanted to, you could go ahead and add in as many products as you wish to. You will see they simply add up down here. Clicking on the product again will simply remove it. We have now added an Awapui finishing spray 300ml product to this client's bill. Now, let's say they had some discount. They were going to get some discount off of this cut and finish. You will see we have a column here where it says discount. So all we need to do is click into that. And this will open up any relevant discount reasons you may have already set up for the salon. And you can see it quickly and effectively adjusts the bill for you. If at any point you decided you didn't wish to have a product, all you would need to do is change the quantity to 0. And you can now see it takes it back to our cut and finish. And again, at the top, you will see the alert just up here. Okay, so we are happy with the client's bill. Now we can take some money off of them. We are happy with the service we've given them. We are sure the products have been added if they're relevant. So now we can ask for some money for this transaction. So we are going to say that this bill comes to £36, but they're going to pay £10 in cash and they're going to pay the rest in card. That's perfectly acceptable to do. So I'm going to click the card button just down here. Now for debit and credit card payments, please don't choose this option just here. This is their profile card. If they wish to pay by debit or credit card, the payment types are on the left-hand side of our screen just here. So we're going to click the Visa button just here. I'm going to choose the credit and debit card. And I'm going to type in how much money they wish to put on their card. So I'm going to say she wants to spend £26. Now, to make it quick and easy again, we do not need to do .00. We can just type in 26. And it says there is £10 left to pay. So there is an outstanding of £10. I'm now going to choose the cash option just here. And I'm going to type in exactly how much money they give me. A screen will pop up asking you if they wish to rebook. If you do wish to rebook this client, all you need to do is simply hit the rebook button. It will take you directly back to your calendar. You will book the appointment like normal. When you have finished creating that appointment, it will ask you if you wish to return to the point of sale screen, which is where we are now, and complete the sale. But for this, I'm going to say no, and I'm going to hit the done button. All importantly, when we are finished, I'm going to click the end sale button. Now, for those of you that are using cash registers and receipt printers, if you have your receipt printer to set to print a receipt out automatically, this is where this will happen. And if you are using a till, please be aware it will open and fire now for you. And we are done. We have successfully taken a payment for test. Perfect. So now what we can do is have a look at selling things like gift cards and maybe pop in money on someone's account. And we can also look at petty cash. And finally, we can finish up with cashing up towards the end of the day. Okay, so I'm going to say a client has walked through the door and they wish to purchase a gift card or a gift certificate, whichever is relevant for your salon. So again, we're going to go to our point of sale screen on our navigation bar. This is where anything to do with money selling or money exchanging hands will take place. So I'm going to go into point of sale. I'm going to choose a client. Just going to remove this just quickly. So to sell a gift card or a gift certificate to someone, I'm going to click on the grey sale line. And we always sell them to Z Business. Now, if you are using our plastic Shortcuts gift card that you have purchased from us, all you would need to do is click the gift card button. If you are using your own gift certificates, it will be under Sundry. So now we can see we've added in a gift certificate, and we just simply change the price accordingly. And we check it out like a normal client. And again, all importantly, we hit the end sale button. Now at this point, it will ask you to pop in your gift certificate number. This makes it nice and easy to track your gift certificates. And again, if you have a receipt printer, your receipt will print. And that is exactly how we sell a gift certificate or a gift card to one of our clients. Now, another fantastic option we have is a way to pop money on people's accounts, kind of like a deposit system. So again, I'm going to go back to our point of sale. I'm going to choose a client. I'm going to click on a grey sale line again, exactly the same way we did with a gift card or gift certificate. And you will see a yellow briefcase just here where it says account. And I'm going to click onto that. And again, exactly the same as before, we can change however much money they wish to pop onto their account. And check it out in exactly the same manner. And again, all importantly, finish up with an end sale. Okay, so we have now added some money to our client called Test. They will, of course, have a receipt showing this, but how do we know as a salon that they have money on their account? How can we track that? So again, if we go to our clients on the right-hand side, and if we click on to test our client, you will see we have a green book appear just here. And on the top right-hand corner in green, we have £10 owed to the client. That means they have popped £10 on their account. Okay. So how do they redeem that £10 they have on their account? So again, I'm going to create a service. I'm going to check the client out. And you will see in the top right-hand corner, they have £10 on their account. They've already paid a deposit of £10. And we can see here their bill is coming to £66. So we're going to say they're going to take £10 off of their account, and they're going to do the rest of the £56 via card. So we click onto the account payment just here. This will only be highlighted if they have money on their account. And we change however much money they wish to spend on their account. Now we can see here they have £10 on their account, so I'm going to change here to £10. You will see there is an outstanding balance of £56. That is because we have taken £10 off of their account already. All we need to do is simply check it out in exactly the same way we did before. I'm going to say no to the rebooking, and I'm going to end sale. And there we go. We have now redeemed money off of someone's account. Now we also have a way where if an employee comes up to you and says, please, could I take some money out the till? I just need to pop to the shop, maybe get some more milk or do something for the laundry. We have a really quick and easy way to track this. So again, if we go into our point of sale screen from our navigation bar, and if we go to no sale in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see we have a little function just here where it says take petty cash. I'm going to click on this. Please be aware, as soon as you do this, your till will start to open. So please be aware of this. And I'm going to say I'm going to give them £20 to take to the shop to get the relevant bits and pieces they need for the salon. The till will now open. At this point, you would take £20 out and you would hand it to your relevant stylist. They would, of course, go to the shop, purchase the products they need. They would then bring back the relevant change and, of course, the receipt for your accountant. The system now knows we have taken £20 out of the till. We now need to let the system know if any money is returning. This will ensure our cash up is nice and correct. So again, we go to our point of sale screen. We go back to no sale. And you will now see we have a return petty cash. One way to think of it is we always take 1 pig and we return 2. I'm going to make sure it's the correct date. And I'm going to click done. We now have lots of options on the left-hand side of all the reasons we may have taken money out of the till. You can, of course, add new reasons to this. This is done through our setup and configuration. Again, we do have videos for this if you feel necessary for some help with this. So I'm going to say they spent £5 on client refreshments. And I'm going to say they spent £15 on office supplies. So I'm going to click the office supplies. I'm going to click add. And I'm going to say they spent £15. We will now see they have spent the full £20. And again, the reason we choose these reasons is for when we pull our reports, we can see exactly how much money we are spending on petty cash. It's a great way to keep track of our finances. When we're happy, we just simply click the done button. And again, the same with all transactions, we hit the end sale button. The system now knows we have taken £20 out and we are returning no pounds, no pence because we have spent that full £20. Now, towards the end of the day, we will start to look to do a cash up. Now, one mistake happens a lot, unfortunately, with cashing up is people have taken petty cash out of the system, but they haven't returned it. So when you come to do your cash up, please make sure when you go to your point of sale, you go to your no sale and make sure there is no return petty cash button there, because that means you have money outstanding. Another mistake people sometimes make is that they have taken money off of a client for a service or a bill, but they haven't checked them out. Now, remember, I kept saying, all importantly, click the end sale button. Otherwise, the system won't have recognized you've taken any money off them, even though you physically probably have. So when we are in our point of sale screen, check there's no outstanding petty cash, and then at the top, ensure there are no clients. When we are happy with these two functions, we can start our cash up. To start the cash up, again, we are in our point of sale screen, and in the right-hand side, you will see this little calculator where it says transactions. Now, please note, it won't always say trans #5. This is only depending on how many transactions you have done in a day. So if you have done 15 transactions in a day, that will say transactions #15 and so forth. So I'm going to click onto transactions. You will see all of the transactions for a day. We can, of course, change some information here. So let's say this, where it was credit and debit card, you realize this is a mistake and they actually paid by cash. Now, the reason we would change it now is because it will, of course, make our cashing up incorrect. If they paid by cash instead of card, and we have told the system it was card instead of cash, it will throw our numbers completely out. So I'm going to click onto here. I'm going to choose payment. You will see it's highlighted the card for us. I'm going to change it to 0. Choose cash, and it will instantly take it to the correct amount for you. So even if you forget exactly how much they spent in a transaction, Shortcuts will remember it for you. Again, making it nice and easy. When we're happy with the update, we simply click the done button. And there we go. We have now updated a transaction that has already been and gone. Okay, now we are set to start our cash up. Down here at the bottom, you will see where it says end of day. This is where you would pop in your float. Now, please don't worry, you won't have so many registers underneath. If you've only got the one register, it will only show the one register. So first of all, we select the register and then we click the next button. At this point, the till will open again. Now we have said our flow is £50. Now at this point, we would take that £50 and pop it to one side. We're not going to count it. We're going to completely ignore it for the time being. Remember that £50 is your float. We do not need to count it. So there are two ways we can do it. We can take all of the remaining cash out of the till. Now remember, keep that £50 to the side for the time being. And we can count every pound, every coin, every note. And when we are happy, we can type that amount in here. If we decide we need a little extra assistance and we're not happy completely counting it all by ourselves, we can use our shortcut system to do it for us. So I can open up my till, remember, pop the £50 to the side, put all of my money on the till in front of me, and I can say, okay, I have two £20 notes, I have one £10 note, I have 10 £1 coins, I have 6 50p's, and you will see as I start to do this, it will add it up for you. Again, another fantastic tool to have to make cashing up quick and as easy as possible. Again, we can take this further. In the bottom left-hand corner, we also have a calculator, should you need to add anything up as well. When we're happy, we pop our cash in there. We do our total reading on our card machine or whichever machine we are using, and we type that in there as well. When we're happy that we have the correct credit and debit card amount in there, and as well we have added in the correct cash, remember, keep that £50 to the side for me, ladies and gents. As soon as we've done that, all we need to do is hit the next button. And it will say, please be certain your selection, your terminal selection and floats are correct. That basically means please make sure you have counted correctly. This is where it will show you whether you have balanced or not. Now, you can see here we have a difference of £63 on cash. That is purely because we are working on a test system here and I'm not actually taking any cash payments or anything like that. Of course, if you've added yours up correctly and you've put the cash payments through as cash and the card payments through as card, it will add up spot on for you. If for whatever reason you find there is a small mistake, there is a previous button just down here and you can go back and start again. You also have the transactions buttons where you can go and amend whether it was cash or card like I did right at the beginning. Again, it's not too late at this point. If you still can't find where that money has gone, or if you really can't figure it all out, just pop yourself a little comment down here and just say unknown, because I'm unsure where this money has gone. When I'm happy, I simply click the next button. This will show you your end of day summary, and after we've finished here, it will take us to our report screen. So we click the next button. Are you sure you want to finish this wizard? This basically means, are you sure you want to finish the end of day cashing up? Now we have 3 reports to choose from. We have the session till balance, which is a report which displays generalized details about a particular end of day session. This will show you things like whether you balanced or if you didn't balance, and roughly how long it took you to do the cashing up. Again, it's fantastic if you leave the cashing up to somebody else and you realize it isn't quite correct and you want to know exactly how many attempts it took them to balance it or not balance it and how long it took them to do. The trading summary underneath will show you a breakdown of your transactions, whether they pay by cash, whether they pay by card, and so forth, and if there was any retail product sales or anything like that. Basically, your day-to-day sales. You also have a business log. Now, my recommendation here, ladies and gentlemen, is unless something went drastically wrong and you are out by loads of money, please do not print the business log, because it will show you all of the times the till was opened, any significant events throughout the day. The page will be nice and long, so please don't print that out. All you need to do is simply click the top 2. When you're happy, click the finish button. And that is our cashing up complete. Now, if at this point, if you think to yourself, oh, I meant to print those reports out, but I didn't, please do not worry. All of the reports are under our reports category. Now, we will, of course, have a reports training session in the next few months, so please keep an eye out for that. But yeah, that is our basic day-to-day running of our system, and we've included petty cash and cashing up as well. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to join in. If you do have any questions, please feel free to pop them across to me now, and I will try my best to answer. But like I said, if not, you will be sent an email just saying with my email address on it. You can also email us at education@shortcuts.co.uk. And of course, this video will be uploaded to YouTube under Shortcuts Classroom Training. So I'll have a couple of minutes. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask away now. So moving forward, ladies and gentlemen, I would just definitely say, have a play around with it. Get comfortable making appointments. Like we said in our webinar just now, rearrange the appointment, drag and move the appointment around, get comfortable. You will soon see it is very simple and very easy to make appointments, check clients out, and handle all of the relevant data. It is a fantastic tool to have to help your day-to-day running of your business. So we'll just give it just a couple more minutes there if anybody does have any questions. If not, please feel free at the end of the session to just drop us an email. If, of course, you don't wish to put it into the chat here and for me to answer it, I'm more than happy to do a one-on-one email there if it is easier. If I don't hear from you, like I said, thank you ever so much for joining in. We will be having constant webinar sessions. It will be lovely to have you all on board to show you exactly what our fantastic tool and our software can do. If you are on Instagram, social media, things like that, do please drop us a follow and go from there. But thank you ever so much, and I'll spend a couple more minutes just in case there are any last-minute questions. If not, have a lovely rest of your day. And Miss Scott there has just said, thank you. It's my pleasure. No problem at all. So it's an excellent question there from Mandy. You just want to see if you can check 2 different clients out at one time. Now, would that be if they are sort of related, maybe like a son and a daughter, or a father and a daughter, something like that? Perfect, no problem. I can show you that. So we can effectively group 2 clients together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create 2 appointments, just nice and quick and easy for us to see exactly how we can do this. So again, I'm going to use Bugs Bunny. And I'm going to use his ever famous son, Test Test. So we've got the 2 appointments booked in. I'm going to arrive them both. If there is relevant discount for both appointments, you would need to do that first and foremost. If it isn't, all you need to do is right click, check out like we did before. Like I said, pop any discount in. And then at the top here, you will see our little drop down arrow. If we go to hashtag group, this will show you all of your arrived clients, all of our clients that have the blue color next to them. You will see we have these gray dotted squares again. I'm going to click the 2 appointments that wish to be checked out as once. When I'm happy, I click the done button and it will pop the entire bill together. So here we can see we've got £86 and it is Bugs Bunny and Test Test. And we simply follow the procedure we've done before. They're both going to pay by card. And we click the end sale. Now, as we have grouped them together, please don't worry. All the relevant information will still appear on each specific client's profile. So although we grouped them together here, they will be individually shown on their profile card so you can easily track their appointments. But yeah, hopefully, Mandy, that has helped that situation out there for you as well. Do play around with that. Just remember, just at the top, all you need to do is click #group. Perfect. There we go. Like I said, I'll hang around just for a couple more minutes, just in case you do think of those last minute questions that you want to go. More than happy to assist, so please do ask. Perfect. Thank you very much for the feedback, Mandy. I appreciate that. Thank you. I'm glad you found it informative. Okay, so it looks like all the questions have come through there. If you do have one last one, please do pop it across. If not, like I said, thank you ever so much for joining us this afternoon and listening to me. This will be, like I said, added onto our YouTube channel. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you all and hope to speak to you again soon. Have a lovely rest of your afternoon. Thank you very much and take care.